GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, are getting a lot of attention today in the media and at the supermarket. But what are they, and do we have anything to be afraid of? GMOs are living organisms that have had their DNA changed or modified in some way. Although there are many ways to change the DNA of a plant or animal, when we talk about GMOs, we are usually talking about changes to the DNA that have been engineered in a laboratory. First, let's talk about DNA, which is essentially the recipe for building an organism. Every cell in your body has the same DNA that's organized in 46 long strands, and along each strand are different genes. A gene is simply a segment of DNA that creates one product, so if your DNA is a cookbook, a gene is one recipe. But how do we get from the recipe to the cookies that come out of the oven? How do we make something useful that serves a functional purpose? Essentially, genes in your body can be turned on and off. When a gene is turned on, its DNA is turned into RNA, which is structurally similar to DNA, and this RNA is then made into a protein. Proteins are the workers in cells that carry out different tasks and functions and ensure that your cells each do their jobs. All of the cells in your body have the same DNA, but in different cells, different genes are turned on and off, which makes different proteins. The proteins present determine how the cell works, which explains why your muscle cells are different than the cells in your eye, for example. Different proteins carry out different functions and therefore affect how the organism functions. Although different animals and plants may seem very different, it turns out that the majority of genes are the same across animal and plant species. The differences that make us unique are actually very minor. So, how are GMOs made? There are many ways we can edit DNA to change genes, which changes the proteins that are made. We can insert new genes, we can delete genes, and we can make small changes that change the protein that the gene makes. Because all DNA molecules are made of the same building blocks, we can also move genes between species. Scientists can identify genes in one species that produce desirable traits, such as drought resistance or insect repellent in plants, and move them into another plant species to give them these characteristics. This new plant is what we call a GMO. Most of our interactions with GMOs happen in the supermarket, so you may be wondering, what happens when I eat a GMO, and how is that different than eating a regular fruit or vegetable? When you eat something, your digestive tract breaks down all of the proteins and other molecules that are in your meal and processes them into simpler molecules. Regardless of what proteins were there to begin with, and regardless of what species they came from, your body treats them the same. To your body, there's no difference between eating conventional produce and eating GMOs. Based on the biological processes at play, it's clear to scientists that GMOs are safe to eat. Thanks for listening. What topic do you want explained next?